What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another pregame kickoff with the Moneyline Madness crew. We are very happy to have a very special guest today, Kyle Kerms of the Sauce Network. Kyle, what is going on? How are you feeling? Monday night, I mean, so many sports.
Yeah, and I'm feeling good because I finally had a good Sunday. I've been getting beat up for the majority of October, so coming off a nice Sunday finally, my spirits are high.
Yeah, Andy B, what are we feeling over there? I know the Packers, I mean, yesterday you were on here, we were all packed out, and all of a sudden a little change of pace, I see.
As you can tell, we've got the Anthony Edwards and we've got the Bulldogs all around. I'm not off the Packers. Look, I'm pissed off about the Packers, but my sports, my thoughts are positive in the best way I can. I mean, when your team's number one, when you've hit a couple bets over the weekend, feels good, I guess. But yeah, in terms of the NFL, rough weekend for sure.
Yeah, Double R, what's happening, brother? I mean, how we doing? Yes, Mr. Sauce himself, the man, the myth, the legend, in the building. We're going to be talking some NFL, some NBA, and then maybe if the World Series happens, you know, it happens. At this point, it ain't looking good. But I know there's a lot of Philly fans, including Double R, fired up for this one tonight.
Eagles, Philly fans, they're all everywhere. Everywhere.
They move in bunches, you know?
They do.
It's the QB who shall not be named. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of them at this point. I'm starting to lose track of all these guys that are just losing their names. MP30, yeah. Andy, I mean, what do you got to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, I heard a lot of people in the Packers press, all their beat guys, saying that the end of that game was really good for their future and really good that they got their offense rolling. I don't want to hear that crap. I mean, I'm sorry. This team won 13 games 3 years in a row. I'm supposed to be happy that some guy I had never heard of coming into the day, can't even say his name, I don't know if you guys can, scored a touchdown late against the Bills when the Bills weren't even trying anymore. I was sick. And some of the guys that were talking shit to the Bills, I mean, if you're talking shit to Stephon Diggs, you better back it up. And they immediately got burnt by him. I'm sorry. Jair and Russell Douglas, I don't care that they both had an interception. Why are you talking shit to Stephon Diggs? Just a sickening night.
Didn't Jair have two?
No, so Rasul had the first pick, but he flipped it right to Jair
Alexander. Oh, right. You're right. Yep.
So they both had one, but they also both gave up touchdowns to guys. So
props with Jair Alexander was definitely looked like he was being an asshole out there, but he was following Gabe Davis around for most of the night, and he actually did a pretty decent job on Gabe Davis. So, I mean, it's really tough to support him, like, running his mouth like that. You can tell by the look on his face he was just being a straight dick. But at the same time, like, I thought he played all right. The rest of the story of that game for me was Josh Allen deciding not to play in the second half.
Yeah, really.
At halftime, I had Bills minus 10.5. I was about to go to sleep. I was like, this is good money.
Yeah.
Matt over here had two, right? He had 2.5.
I had Josh Allen over 2.5 touchdowns.
My God.
Yeah, dude. So 14 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half, and I'm sitting here like 2 touchdowns. Like,
he texted me. I was like,
out. Like, that was.
I was like, I really hope your bet fails.
I even doubled down on the first half spread and took over 14.5 on the spread for the first half. So I almost even got hooked by that until Stephon Diggs had caught that bomb. But it was seriously, like, I don't know what happened with the Bills in the second half. I mean, I understand you get a little kind of complacent being such a good team. But, I mean, it's something with that.
I mean, Josh Allen was looking straight bad.
Yeah, I mean, the second half he looked rough.
Not just everyone's talking about the one pick at the goal line. That was horrible. But there was one pass, and it wasn't a pick, so it's not getting talked about enough. Yeah. But he rolled out to the right, and he had dude wide open, and he overthrew him by about 7 yards. It was horrible.
Yeah. The Packers defense in the run game, they're embarrassing. Doesn't even begin to say, like, these are first round picks, and I can't even say they're not panning out. They never showed that they should pan out. I mean, they're playing really poorly. I mean, Quay Walker getting ejected for pushing a guy. What are you doing? Like, who taught you that?
No, I know that. I'm thinking he thought the coach was like. What I assumed happened was somebody on the sideline said something disrespectful, and the coach went to help him up, and he just like reacted. I don't even know. That was crazy.
He thought he was a player, because if he pushes a player like that, I don't think he gets ejected. But you can't. I mean, you got to be smarter.
And the coach was 100% just trying to help him up.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Andy B, can I get an answer to this? Why are we holding Mr. P30, aka Mr. Raj, to a lower standard than Dak Prescott.
Well, because this is the tail end of Aaron Rodgers' career. This is Dak's prime. To be fair.
I mean, but then again, let's look at Aaron Rodgers' resume. Are we gonna like the ring situation?
Don't talk about no rings. No.
Listen, bro.
He's had
all
opportunities that his
I
defense did not let him win it. I mean, you can go through each and every NFC Championship game. They scored 30, 40 points against them. I mean,
it's always something, but it's never A-Rod, right? Like
that is true. He's always gotten a pass throughout his career, and I just gave him one. So I understand Double R's frustration with it. 6 first-round picks on the defense. I mean, it's tough,
and it's still 29th against the run.
This is a hyped-up defense that just is not playing well.
No. Yo, but also, dude, that linebacker with the dreads, 59. Why I can't think of his name.
Devondre Campbell.
Yep, Campbell. He was out. He left. And also, like Gary. Did Gary even play? I feel like
Rashawn Gary played, but I don't think he played much. And I know he didn't do anything because he didn't have.
I didn't hear his name on the broadcast all night.
It was the first game of the season he didn't have a sack. I want to say it was one of the first.
Yeah.
So.
It's tough. It's tough over there in Green Bay, and honestly, it doesn't show signs of getting any better.
It is not. Well, they play the Lions next week. It should get better.
Listen.
Wait, is the game's in Detroit though?
It's in Detroit.
Yeah, but the game's in Detroit. The Lions are averaging like 39 points a game.
That's
in
the problem.
They're only good at home.
Yeah.
Jared Goff goes on the road and he shits his pants, but at home he's a dog.
Yeah, that offense just clicks in Detroit at Ford Field, man.
The Packers opened as 3-point favorites. I have a feeling that will be a little closer, to be honest with you. I feel like it'll end at like 1-1. That means they think the Packers are 6 points better than the Lions, right?
Does that not sum up exactly how this NFL season has gone? The Packers open up as just 3-point favorites over the Lions, and we're expecting it to drop.
Yeah.
That just shows you how crazy this year has been.
Very odd.
Disappointing to say the least.
You're in first place in their division,
and the Lions are 1-6 too.
Oh, they're terrible.
It's crazy.
Lions are awful on the defensive side too. Lions defense, exactly. Lions defense stinks to high hell. Yeah, they're really bad, and it's odd because at the end of last season, the story was kind of like, oh, Detroit has something going on the defensive side of the ball. You know, everyone was like, oh, Jeff Okudah, like he's the next big cornerback, and he's kind of fallen off.
No, he hasn't been very good so far
this season. Yeah, I don't know.
They might stink to high heaven, but I don't think the Packers are capable of scoring that many points with that offense. I mean, no matter who they're playing, name a guy on that offense that's going to get open downfield like that. There just isn't anybody.
No.
So
that whole offense runs by the offensive line. Like analytically, that offensive line is so good. It's like the Lions I'm talking about. That offensive line is so good analytically. It's like first in adjusted line yards and third in adjusted sack rate.
Yeah.
So like it's easy to score points when your offensive line is just bullying teams.
Listen, Geno Smith beat his old team, New York Giants, who benched him for Eli. Or who benched Eli?
I said it a few weeks ago, man. I said that was going to be a tough game.
The thing is, first off, Richie James is the one that cost the Giants that game. And as soon as he muffed that punt, the game was over.
I don't know, though, because if it wasn't for Tyler Lockett, Seattle wins by 3 touchdowns, I think.
I agree. But, I mean, in these close games, the Giants were bound to lose one of them, right? Like, I was not expecting all of these close games. Like, it was going the Giants' way for a little too long. And, you know, the past few years, over 70% of those would have gone the opposite way. But now we're seeing, you know, a little 70-30, 60-40 type action with the Giants able to get these luckier, you know, plays in their favor, whether it be a play like the Lockett turnover or something like that. You know, him dropping that ball literally a foot away from the end zone.
I mean, it hit his helmet.
It was.
He never does that, too. He never does that.
Exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. As much as I like Dan Campbell, his seat might be heating up. Oh man, I don't know about that.
He sucks.
I agree. Their team. I mean, he's not a good coach, but you do definitely hate to see him. Probably.
He's a likable guy.
Yeah,
Hard Knocks built a little bit of like some feelings for Dan Campbell. Everyone loved his passion, and that was
Hasn't the head coach of Hard Knocks gotten fired like 3 of the last 4 years?
True?
I think so, because Hugh Jackson got fired the year they were on it. The Eagles, the Colts.
Wait, didn't Wade Phillips get fired the Cowboys year way back?
Yeah, so I think there's like a stigma around wanting to. The Packers never done it. And the Giants
odds on Dan Campbell to be fired then?
I mean, honestly, if they win 2 games this year, how do you keep them?
I don't know. See, the thing is, I don't think the Lions are 1-6, but I feel like the vibe around the Lions team isn't that they're 1-6. Like they've covered some spreads. Their offense has put up points.
They've been spread monsters since
they fired their defensive backs coach today. I know that, so that's making a move.
Did you guys have the Lions +4 or the Dolphins -4? It doesn't matter. It pushed, but
honestly, I didn't.
I believe we had. I believe Mo had. Mo was agreed.
He was the only one on that game, and he had Raheem Mostert props.
Yes.
But aside from that, I've been sticking. And if you guys want to segue into tonight's game,
let's go.
I've been sticking with kicker props. Those have been going nuts for me
what?
lately.
Hell yeah! No, they have.
Prop, dude. When I tell you kicker props are big money, they are almost always plus money plays. I was able to snipe the other day, Graham Gano over 1.5 field goals for +130, and I'm coming right back tonight. Cade York over 1.5 field goals made for +130 on Borgata, and I mean, the Browns have a good offense, but Jacoby Brissett's only going to get you so far, right? Like he's only going to get you down the field so many times, and for 2 field goals to be plus money, I really think Cade York is going to be kicking a lot tonight. And I'm piggybacking off of RVA. He had him over 5.5 kicking points. So I'm going to double down on both of those. I love this kid Cade tonight.
That's solid. I have some. I'm on the Browns. Do you want me to rattle off the points I have here?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, cool. So, first of all, the Browns at home, they've played. Wait, hold on. They've only lost 4 times out of the 21 home games they've had by more than 3 points under Kevin Stefanski in the last 3 years. So the Browns do get blown out, but usually it's on the road when that happens. It doesn't happen too often at home. I mean, Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney against the Cincinnati offensive line is such a monster mismatch. I mean, the Bengals are 28th in the NFL in adjusted sack rate. Pass protection's a problem. They were supposed to address that. It looked like they did in the offseason. They did it. It didn't work.
They brought Buddy in, and he said, Joe Burrow, don't worry. Like, I
got you. I'll be your bodyguard.
I'll be your bodyguard. Yep. Yeah. So those two guys, I mean, that's a horrible mismatch. Another thing, and you wouldn't expect this. I thought this one was surprising. So, obviously, Jamar Chase is out, right? T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd actually produce more when Chase is on the field. Mm-hmm. Higgins is averaging 30 less receiving yards per game with Chase out, and Boyd is averaging 10 less receiving yards with Chase out. So he hurts the whole passing offense, not just him. The whole passing offense suffers when he's out.
Yeah.
And then this is important. This last one. This is important. So what happens in the NFL, or basically any sport, but it happens a lot in the NFL. People harp in too much on first impressions. So our first impressions of the Browns were they can run the ball, their defense sucks, right? Mm-hmm. That was everyone's first impression. But actually, the Browns were dead last in run defense DVOA weeks 1 through 5. But since they got healthy, they're actually 8th in the last 2 weeks. They've been stopping the run, similar to the Seahawks, where all of a sudden they're stopping the run.
Yeah.
So the Browns have actually been playing some good defense against the run. And meanwhile, the Bengals run defense, which is important because they're playing the Browns, they were 7th. They started off great. But since DJ Reader, their tackle, who was killing it, got hurt, they're all the way back at 19th. So people would think that the Bengals run defense is significantly better than the Browns, but in recent weeks, they haven't been.
It isn't, no.
And also, Joe Burrow has never beaten Cleveland in his career.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have taken note of that.
That's a tough one.
I really like the point of the Browns' run defense, and especially because I think it's going to be tough having Jamar Chase out. I'm going with Joe Mixon tonight, and not in terms of his run game, though. I'm taking Joe Mixon over 3.5 receptions because I think there's going to be a lot of checkdowns tonight, and that's another one that comes in at +110. So for plus money for him to get 3.5 receptions, I feel like just a couple, screens, a couple dump offs. They're going to try and get shifty with Jamar Chase being out. They got to expand the field, and like you're saying, when that happens, it's not coming from T. Higgins or Tyler Boyd. It's coming from that backfield. So I'm expecting a lot of use, whether it be Joe Mixon or if they, bring in Samaj P. Ryan. Like, I really like Joe Mixon, though, over 3.5 receptions tonight.
Yeah, mine kind of goes with that. I have Burrow over 263.5. I think eventually that they have to settle in as an offense, and they know probably for a few weeks they're going to be without Jamar Chase. They have depth. I know you said they don't play as well without him. As I mean, said it gets better. They've been getting better week by week. They have to use those receivers. I mean, I love Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine's solid, but you're not going to outrun here. I think they're going to have to throw a little bit. 263 is a lower number. I mean, hell, we were talking about it yesterday. That's only like 48 yards from what they had Sam Ellinger at. So, I mean, that's a low number in my opinion. And so I'm on Joe Burrow tonight.
Joe Burrow over passing yards?
Over 263.5, yes.
I could see that.
Guys,
but yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. I actually like both of those. I'm not a big prop guy, but both of those sounded right to me.
I got a little bit of a. I know this is reaching for the stars here, but I got a little bit of a touchdown prop, and I'm not saying that this is something we're going to hammer home, but something I'm maybe a little interesting. Hayden Hurst to score the first touchdown tonight. Plus 1,300. Plus 1,300. Now, the linebacking core of the Cleveland Browns is nothing spectacular. And like we're saying, the production for Joe Burrow when Jamar Chase is out isn't coming from Boyd or Higgins.
No, they need Hurst.
I really think Hayden Hurst gets forgotten about in this offense, and he's pretty he's a solid tight end.
What's his anytime?
Yeah.
What's his
anytime? Is at plus 250 right now.
That's value itself. I mean,
yeah, it's solid, but not as crazy as I would like.
No, the first touchdowns are always unpredictable.
They're tough.
I used to do those. They just
they're more like they're fun to place. It's just hard to calculate. Like, okay, say they give you like, let's use Hayden Hurst as an example. Hayden Hurst first touchdown plus 1,200. Let's say. Mm-hmm. Like, how do we even know? It's hard to calculate the odds. Like, so for example, if I think a team, let's talk about a point spread, has like a 65% chance of covering or winning, I can look at the money line and look at the minus 130 and be like, okay, and balance it with the first touchdown. I don't know how to like calculate. Like, is that good? I don't know. Like, it's hard to gauge those kind of bets.
Absolutely, I totally feel that. One more thing for you guys. One more little tidbit. So, nobody's really talking about it tonight. Obviously Halloween, right? Both teams are orange.
Damn
the Bengals are orange and black.
Oh yeah.
And teams in the past 10 years on Halloween have hit the over 8-2. All I'm saying, over 45.5. We discussed it today on the Philly show I'm on. It was a crazy statistic that I never knew. I think the guy even pulled in the last 15 years, something like that. But they've hit on a crazy margin of overs in the past years on Halloween. So with that, on top of these teams being orange, I don't know. I don't know. I like it. I like it.
I like the 8-2 on the Halloween stat. The orange is like, but I like where your head's at.
All trends, all ties. Yeah, it's, like I said, it's getting spooky up in here. It is getting spooky, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to head over to NBA because
before we do that, sorry, Double R Game 3 is officially postponed, so they're not playing tonight. Anybody who had any bets, your games will. I guess you. What do you? How does that work? Do you get it back?
It depends on the book. I think DraftKings will refund it.
Yeah, they'll refund it more likely than not. But
every book's different, though.
I was looking forward to some baseball tonight. You hate to say it.
Yeah, me too.
Hate to say it, but anyways, we got Raheem's over there with Sixers basketball. Am I right? Am I right? The Sixers going up against the Wizards tonight. I mean, the Sixers obviously did look better, and surprisingly with Embiid out. I mean, I don't know if that's a surprise to some people. I know Simo's a little critical of him, critical of Harden. What do you guys feel about tonight's NBA slate?
Well, I'll go first. We're talking about the 76ers Wizards. That's what we're doing?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so this is not one of my favorites. Actually, I didn't even put it on the final ticket, but I was definitely leaning Wizards. Philadelphia's been playing better basketball, and I am not really. I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm not really a Sixers hater. Actually, yeah, I am. But but this will be their third road game in 4 nights, and they're getting zero action on the offensive glass. I mean, they're dead last. I'm pretty sure in offensive rebounding rate. Meanwhile, the Wizards, they kind of capitalize at like the Sixers' weaknesses. The Wizards do really well. For example, they're 9th in defensive ORB, so the Wizards are keeping people off the offensive boards, and also the Wizards are 10th and overall defensive efficiency
Wizards
this year.
Playing really, like the Wizards are a good squad this year. It's kind
They
of
do have some good players. I was watching them last night.
Porzingis has been hooping.
Yeah,
I hate to say it. I really do.
He looks good. He looks good.
In terms of the offensive rebounding for the Sixers, I mean, it's not even like they're getting like, oh, the ball just doesn't bounce your way sometimes. It's literally because guys on the Sixers shoot and then everyone else just stands there and watches.
I know.
They literally, like, nobody cares on this team to hustle at all.
You know who that reminds me of?
Anybody out. They're not going crashing the boards. They're not following their shot. Like, this is basic fundamentals of the game of basketball, and the Sixers are just kind of chucking up ISO shots and, doing their thing, hoping that their talent will win them the games. And it's
reminds me of
happening.
the Nets a little bit.
It does.
That's just how they play, those two teams. When you build a team like that, you have to understand ISO ball doesn't really work unless it's Steph Curry. I mean, Steph Curry can ISO anybody and just shoot over him.
Or Luka,
other than that,
guys
I mean,
like that are really the only ones I'm comfortable with.
It's been proven that James Harden can't do that. I mean, he can ISO anybody, but it doesn't win you games, right? So I don't know. It's
kind of like what I'm thinking when I watch the Sixers is it's because it's not so much like, yeah, they're going to run some isolation, but isolation to Embiid, if you get the ball to him in the right spot, is a pretty efficient play. Like, they got to stop giving them the ball 20 feet from the basket. I don't know what the hell they're thinking. And it's not just always a lack of effort. Sometimes it looks like guys don't even know what they're supposed to be doing or what their role is on the team. Honestly,
it goes to coaching. We've talked about
it comes down to Paul George.
I don't know how Doc Rivers needs to win a chip or he's out.
Kyle,
I just want to let you know, Doc Rivers has now become one of the list guys that we just don't say their names. Honestly,
he who should not be named. Got it.
Yeah. So he's actually Paul George's ex-girlfriend's father.
That's his name.
So yeah, that's
Paul George's ex-girlfriend's father. Got it. All right.
His name as of late. Yeah, and they're straight up forcing him the ball.
They are.
It's not what you want to see over.
That name
Philly.
is banned, sir. Yes,
it is. But
I think Double R has all the names. He
does. He's got a list over there, I'm sure. But I am coming with the Sixers prop tonight. I'm not on this money line wave at all. But I'm going to be riding with Tyrese Maxey tonight. Over 2.5 threes for -118. I mean, the kid's on fire, and it's just evident that when the ball runs through him, the offense is 10 times better. So, I don't know. And, yeah, he is also Seth Curry's father-in-law. That's, just incredible. The man making his way around and hopefully making his way to the unemployment line very soon.
Hopefully. Well, for Philly fans, I hope. I guess we shouldn't be rooting for that, though. Because we both hate. I mean, we don't like Philly. So
that is
Let's
true.
hope he keeps his job all year.
Yeah, I hope Tom Thibodeau is the one that gets fired. And honestly, that's not looking good for us Knicks fans. But moving on, you guys got anything tonight on this? What's the next game we got here?
Kings Hornets.
Yeah, Kings Hornets. That's going to be tipping off shortly. So we
yeah,
shed some light on.
So the spot is a good one for the Kings because the Hornets are just coming off like an emotional overtime win over Golden State. Yeah, but I'm still taking the points with Charlotte here. Sacramento's fourth in the NBA in 3-point frequency. This team shoots a lot of threes, and people wouldn't really realize this is going on, but the Hornets are first, not second or third, first in the NBA in defensive efficiency on the perimeter. This is the best 3-point defense in basketball so far this year.
That you would not think that with a LaMelo Ball, starting backcourt. That's crazy.
Don't ask me to explain it. I don't know, but the numbers don't lie. So I feel like this is the perfect matchup for the Hornets to really lock the Kings up. That's why I'm playing the under at 231. This total opened up at 236, dropped 5 points because the books are not liking people betting the under. So the under is probably my favorite play, but I also like the Hornets +3. The Kings have also played most of their season so far on the road. And so, I mean, at home, and now they're traveling to Charlotte. Meanwhile, Charlotte finally gets a home game. They were just on a road trip. So, I'm on the Hornets +3 in the under.
I have a prop that would be good, and it goes with everything you just said, the defensive efficiency from the 3-point line. Kevin Huerter, who, I mean, a lot of people were interested in this offseason. He's a 3-point chucker. He pretty much only shoots threes.
Yeah.
His number's at 13.5 now. And I mean, they're going to be waiting on him because if they can guard the perimeter, his game is gone. Like, he does not. He doesn't go for the rim. He doesn't try. He doesn't even attempt it. He's a scrawny white guy. That's all he does. He shoots up threes.
Yep.
So him under 13.5 tonight would be one that I think would be a good one because he's been hot to start the season, no doubt. But if they're going to guard him up well, then he might not get those shots off. So I think that's a good one to look at if you're looking at a player prop tonight there.
Yeah,
I like that.
definitely interesting. I know another pick. I mean, not that I was rolling with it in this game, but a pick that I've been liking with the Kings specifically has been Keegan Murray over 2.5 3-pointers. His volume has been kind of through the roof as of late, but I wasn't looking at it tonight because of not just what you were saying. I mean, that goes even more hand in hand with it, but I just feel like the length of the Hornets is just too much for the Kings. I mean, in terms of De'Aaron Fox, you look over Harrison Barnes, like they're not really screaming out to me that they're much better than the Hornets. So yeah, I don't know. I definitely think that the Hornets are going to dominate this game, especially at home. So I'm not touching Keegan Murray tonight, but I always have been, just for future reference, keeping that 2.5 threes in my back pocket because I love that kid shooting, and his volume is kind of reminding me of Anthony Simons over in Portland.
That's a good one.
Ben Simmons is out with knee soreness.
Has he really been in this year?
Does he have esophageal soreness too to go along with that? Because that's about all that guy does. So, yeah. All right. I mean, may as well move on to that game. That's the next one on the list. Pacers going up against the Brooklyn Nets at the Clays. Boys,
this one's 7-34 against the spread at home last year. Nets 1-3 against the spread at home this year. No Seth Curry, no Ben Simmons.
Stinky.
I blindly betting the Pacers.
Yeah, that's a. I mean, the Pacers have two really good players too that I think everybody wants traded to a specific team. I mean, they're showing out right now, so
yeah,
that one's pretty obvious. And the Nets are just in a position. They're every day it's a new story. Every day it's a new this that.
Yeah,
really, they're not a basketball team. They're a soap opera right now. That's
yeah,
just
it's
what
really
they are.
bad. Really bad. And Andy B, I'm going to be piggybacking off of your point with those two guys that are looking to get traded: Miles Turner, Buddy Hield. I'm rolling with Buddy Hield tonight. Over 3.5 3-pointers for -111. Honestly, even his over 4 or 4.5 plus was intriguing me for plus money. I think he's going to light it up tonight. He is obviously in a lot of trade talks, so I think a lot of points over for the Pacers. That's right. I mean, and with Ben Simmons out, it's going to be a high scoring affair. All right. Anything else you guys like on that game?
Not in that game, no.
No. Game, no.
Yeah, that one's pretty stinky. Pretty stinky. All right, moving on. We could talk some Hawks Raptors. I mean, this one's kind of intriguing because Raptors at home, great team, but they haven't been defending home court this season the way we kind of expect them to, through the past year or two under Nick Nurse. So, what do you guys feel for this one?
I think this is a matchup that's very even, but in different ways, right? I mean, we've talked about Toronto. They're very depth heavy. They don't have a star per se. Don't tell me Pascal Siakam is, because he's not. And the Hawks they really don't have any depth, but they're very top heavy. I mean, we know that their big three is solid and they fit really well. So I think that's just such a toss up that I said I think the Hawks, just solely because you said Van Vliet's out. I think that gives the advantage to the Hawks, especially at the point guard position. So
they are at plus money. So I could interest you in maybe a little, being that Freddie Van Vliet is the, defensive minded guy. Can I interest you in maybe a little DeJounte Murray action or Trae Young in the assist column, as well as a player performance double to win that game?
I think the Young assist's a good one.
Yeah,
I think he's been spreading the ball around, and they
Trae Young double and Atlanta to win at plus 280.
Double or triple double?
Double.
I think that's good. I think that's nice.
They, the first 2 games of their season, they put up the most assists by a backcourt in the first 2 games of an NBA season in all time. So it's very, very big things happening with that Atlanta backcourt. Do I think it gets them very far in the playoffs? Probably not. But for right now, they'll probably win some regular season games because of it.
On this one, I loved with a D, loved the Raptors. It was going to be my bet of the day, but I had with asterisks only if Van Vliet plays, because especially in this matchup, when you have 2 guards like Trae Young and DeJounte Murray with such talent, you're going to need Van Vliet's a hell of a defender, and you're going to need him out there. So without him, I can't get behind the Raptors play. I will say that the mismatch that I originally loved is still there. Raptors were the best offensive rebounding team in the NBA last year, and the Hawks have been struggling in that category. And the Raptors are so unique. They grab offensive rebounds not with their size, just because they have 3 big athletic-ass guys with Scotty Barnes, Siakam, and OG Anunoby. So it's almost like they're just faster than other centers. And I still like that matchup, but without Van Vliet, I can't get behind it.
Yeah. I definitely.
That's what I said the other
riding
day. Once, if you're missing one guy on that Raptor team, you're basically missing your whole team because you need everybody to score 15 to 20 every night. They don't have a star. I mean, that's just how it works in the NBA now.
Yeah. No, I agree for sure. For sure. Okay, Pistons Bucks tonight. You guys like anything over there?
No, just
Kind of a
because
stinker.
we've been doing Giannis double and wins, and it's been feeding families. But unfortunately,
It's got no
there's
value.
no value tonight. So
Yeah.
I mean, against the Knicks the other day, it works, but not when there's no value.
Last year when the Bucks played teams in their division, last year overall the Bucks were an over team, but when they played the Bulls, the Pistons, or the Cavs, it went under. I think it was 13-4 on the year in those games. So I'm playing the under just from that trend. But overall, no, I don't love the game.
Appreciate that. A lot of hard work went into this, clearly.
Yeah, Georgia Dogs. Bojan, he's been out. He's been hot for about a week straight. I mean, that definitely is interesting.
Didn't
he just got paid too?
Yeah, he got a 2-year extension yesterday.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything?
Well, the thing is with that is if this was the Bucks last year, I'd be all over that because the Bucks were the worst team in basketball in defending the three. But this year, they're first in the NBA so far in defensive efficiency. I don't understand it without Middleton and Connaughton and Ingles out there. I mean, not that those guys are – Middleton's a good defender, but they're missing 3 wings and still the most efficient defensive team in the NBA so far. So I'm still trying to figure this Bucks team out, to be honest.
Yeah, no doubt. And Bojan's sitting at 2.5, minus 154. So not great value there, but if you're still maybe worth a little sprinkle. All right, heading over because I mean some of these games just the NBA slate kind of stinks today. I can't even lie to you. So you guys like anything Memphis and the Jazz tonight? I mean,
no, I just want the Jazz to stop winning. I feel bad for Danny Ainge.
I don't.
You don't like Danny Ainge.
No remorse for that guy ever. You will not see me showing any remorse for Danny Ainge. I'm sorry.
I just can't. I don't understand how we're expected to bet this game when John Morant and Desmond Bane, the entire Memphis starting backcourt, is game time decision.
Yeah.
Like who knows what the hell this game's going to look like? So I skipped it.
Yeah. Yeah, me as well. All right. Rockets, Clippers. I mean, puck talk. Yeah, that ain't me. That ain't me. Maybe a little Andy B action.
Well, when we get closer to the playoffs, I'll get into it. I've been paying attention to hockey this year because a lot of the guys like to bet hockey. I know Wise is big on it. So we will eventually. I'm going to some games later in the season, so I will have them for those games. So we definitely will bring it up. I don't know if it'll be featured per se because neither of us watch every game of a Rangers season or whatever. It's not like baseball. I mean, I could
like you said for some playoffs. Maybe we'll bring it up. All right. So Rockets Clippers tonight. No Kawhi, no John Wall. What are we feeling? I mean, I don't know. We're already getting load management issues. Like Jesus.
I'm on the Clips. So the Clippers have lost 4 straight, and it's kind of humiliating, honestly. But there are no must-win games in the NBA regular season, especially not in October. But the Clips really need a win here badly, and they're in luck because the Rockets have just been the punching bag of the NBA so far. This will be Houston's 3rd road game in 4 days, and in the first 2, they got blown out in both of them. The Rockets on the season are 0-5 on the road, and so they lost in their 5 road games. One of them they lost by 8 in Utah. The other 4 were all double-digit losses. So this spread of 9, 4 out of the 5 road games for the Rockets that would have covered. They're getting crushed on the road. The public is heavy on the Rockets because of how bad the Clippers have played. Completely get it. They're also dealing with a couple injuries, Kawhi Leonard included. Yeah. But I'm not betting on this bum-ass Houston Rockets team. Their coach is weird as hell. I'm on the Clips in the closest thing you could get to a must-win game on October 31st. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it, but I am on the Clips.
I got a little bit of a play for you here. So let me ask you. I'm looking right now at a little Zubac prop, a player performance of Zubac, 12 rebounds, and the Clippers to win at plus 160. How do we feel about that?
I would have to look. I don't know what his rebound totals usually look like.
Now, so I'm looking at that, right? And then I'm like, you know what? Maybe if Houston is to pull this out, do I hedge that player performance double with a sprinkle over on Kevin Porter Jr., 25 plus in Houston to win, coming in at plus 1120.
Oh, I mean, If he goes off, they'll have a shot.
I would think if Houston makes this a game
for error, but I feel like you're saying, like you're about to say, if they make it a game,
I would imagine if the Rockets make it a game, the most logical way that happens is they're hot from outside because they do shoot.
Yeah. They do shoot well. Jalen Green's been showing out.
Garrison
KPJ
Matthews
has that offensive potential.
But if their outside shots are off, like that's the worst team in basketball.
Yeah,
really
it's bad. They don't play any defense. Like
they've built the team for the NBA. That's for sure.
Much. Well, I mean, we've been ripping that Zubac double.
Yeah, you've been having that every night. It feels like
they took it off. That's why they have to bump it up to 12.
The only person I don't think Matt has
anymore.
I think the only person I've seen bet more than Zubac is Gobert. Like that's the only you guys love to bet.
I mean,
Gobert.
Rudy Gobert has been feeding the fam.
He has.
I mean, he's been just coming through clutch constantly.
It's because they caught on to Jonas Valanciunas.
They did, but we'll be back. Don't even sweat it. We'll be back.
You better believe it.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for NBA tonight? We got the Golden State Warriors against the Miami Heat. Oh wait, that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wait, what? I missed that.
No, we will tweet out the Warriors by a million tomorrow.
The Heat are 0-4 against the spread at home this year. Like,
yeah, early look +1. I mean, or money line straight up. Honestly, like.
Wait, +1? I'm seeing +3 for that.
Oh really? I see.
Oh, I see. It's +1 on Caesars. It's plus. The consensus is +3. This line's everywhere right now. It's +4.5 on PointsBet.
Wow. Yeah. See, I'm smashed. I might smash Warriors tonight before this line.
Dude, Warriors +4.5. You can get on PointsBet right now.
We got +1 on FanDuel. How is it?
Yeah, FanDuel's +1. I see that here.
Yeah.
DraftKings has it as a pick'em.
Wow.
How's that a pick'em? What?
We
were talking about this the other day. The matchup nightmare for the Heat. I mean,
the Heat is the Warriors.
There's nobody who can guard
perimeter
anybody.
Defense. Kyle Lowry's a traffic cone. Yeah, I mean, that's shout out to BetStamp. That is a fact.
Dude, I might go place a bet. Like, put a couple $100 on the Warriors +4.5 on PointsBet, and then go to DraftKings and play a couple $100 on Miami Heat money line and try to sandwich it.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, make money regardless. Yeah.
Why not? I can't lose. I'll lose the VIG, but if it falls in that 4-point window, I cash both.
There you go. All right. Anything else you guys want to get out for tonight's sports slate?
No, I'm ready to pour myself a Johnny Walker Black and turn the TVs on.
Fuck yeah. Love that. Middle betting. There you go.
Thursday, we'll be back Thursday, right? I will have a pick.
We're going to be back Thursday. We're going to be talking NFL. Yeah, some college football. We're going to be talking hopefully some World Series action as well.
Yeah.
And obviously some more NBA and some look aheads for the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
And what is it? Eagles Texans Thursday night.
Oh yeah, what a game!
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was the Thursday night game. That's oh god.
Yeah, it doesn't get better the week after either.
Yeah, well, we're gonna be coming with running back props because the Texans can't, stop the run. I'm sorry, Kyle, but
I'm not a Texans fan. I have a shirt for like every team in every sport.
Gotcha.
For YouTube, I just have a bunch of shit.
Damian Pierce had a clutch touchdown yesterday. Anybody who had an anytime touchdown last like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Game.
Yep, I saw that.
Came through. Yep. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Kyle, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you. You're always welcome to come on Moneyline Madness podcast. We will catch you guys Thursday. I mean, Double R. Everyone else, Mr. Bricado, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Simo, hope you have a good night. And happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.